In this tutorial, you will learn how to set up the get help command, how to see examples of chained commands, their results, and explanations of how they work, learn supplementary ways of learning the commands. I also wrote a text and pick-based guide if you prefer to learn this way. Link in the description. As you can see, I'm currently at my default users folder. One of the commands that you're most likely to use inside Windows PowerShell is
Get child item.
It works the same as Linux ls command, which shows you the contents of a chosen folder. You can see that I have here some files and both downloads and documents folder, and lots of others if I scroll up. So it basically works as your file explorer. This command is better known as ls or dir, and I will be using it mostly as GCI shortcut. Somewhere in the future, you might learn that it actually has many more powerful features. But how do I even know about them? For that, I use get help command. Well, at the beginning, get help might not necessarily work as good, which makes it work pretty much as good as everything in Windows in general. You might see the note similar to this one. So in order for it to actually work, we should follow these instructions and type update help. It will download everything you need. Just type Y at some point to accept the installation. And it might take up to 5 minutes to do everything it needs. You'll know that it's finished when you can type again. Let's try using get help to find out how to use GCI command. For that, I will type get help get child item. So what you get is some useless information, like name of this command, some trash information that is very incomprehensible and has 0 examples of use or how to understand this. But you will get the basic description of this command. You will also see which parameters are most often used with this command. In this example, we see recurse and depth parameters. But in general, you will not learn much from this. You even see in remarks section, down at the bottom, what you should do if you want to get more information. Well, thanks a lot for not helping much. Try this then. Get help, get child item, detailed. Beginning is basically the same. We have synopsis, syntax, and description. But what's of more interest to us is parameters section. That is basically the manual of what you can do here. Take a look inside parameters section to see many interesting options that you can use. You get our lovely depth parameter. Now it's actually explained how it works in a very clear manner. The depth parameter determines the number of subdirectory levels that are included in recursion and displays the contents. For example, blah blah blah. But if you just want a sample of code to simply copy and modify accordingly to your needs, then we can scroll down and... oh, look! Here we have some samples of code with explanations and examples of use. That particular example is even explained twice in 2 different ways. So you've got 2 examples, a command ready to copy, and also the visualization of what you might achieve with this command. There's usually plenty of examples, so if you prefer to learn only that way, you can use get help, get child item, examples. Sometimes you will see an answer on Stack Overflow with an alias that you've never seen before, and you'd like to learn what kind of command it is. That's where get command comes to your aid. Alone, get command shows you most of the commands used in PowerShell. But if you type it with an alias like this, get command GCI, it will show you which command that alias is referring to. The same can be achieved with get alias GCI. Some commands are hidden or not that often used, and you will see lists of them only with get command -all or get command asterisk. Their outputs / results are quite long, so I'm gonna put them in the files. That way it will be easier to see the differences. We can instantly see the difference in size between these files. Also, here's what I mentioned. Commands like whoami.exe is only displayed when using asterisk. Even -all parameter doesn't show this command, ironically. Using only get alias will show you all existing aliases on your file system. So it works similarly to get command. The basic syntax for getting all the aliases of any command you want is get alias definition your command. So, if you only know the name of the command, you can already learn all its pre-installed aliases. All of these will work on my computer. Okay, but how did I know that I can use an option like -definition or any other? That's where
select object
comes to our aid. In theory, this command should give you all necessary information about any alias. What this sequence of commands does is searching for a command by alias and sending the result to our filter. And that filter is supposed to get us all possible properties. You can now see every possible option / parameter. Okay, but you taught us to use get help all for nothing? Get help should show an explanation of what definition parameter does. Well, yes, but it actually doesn't show you the exemplary results. Let's use this command again. I will only switch the asterisk to the parameter that I actually want to get. And this is partly what we wanted to achieve, because we've got the value of our definition, but whenever we will write a script and want just the value, then we don't want the rest of the informations. For that, we use expand property. Now, we can freely put such value inside of any script. Let me show you an example. This one will show us all aliases we can use, based only on alias that we provide, not based on actual command, like cmdlets we used before. You can interpret this code in similar way that you interpret divide operations in math. First, you will always divide. The same as here. First, you will always do what's inside the dollar brackets. Feel free to study this code now. I hope that learning new PowerShell commands is not black magic for you anymore. Keep on going! In next episode, I will show you how to create a shorthand command so you can use just 2 keywords.